Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever it may be where you are when you start watching this. My name is Jim Watts. I'm with the Tulsa World of the Scene Department, here with my colleague Jimmie Tramel, also of the Scene Department, to talk to you about things to be seen in the scene section of the Tulsa World, available at fine newsstands and on the interwebs at tulsaworld.com. We Oklahoma is home to the National Fiddlers Hall of Fame, and that ceremony, I think, is coming up, and you've got something on one of the inductees, I do believe.
It's actually been postponed a couple of times due to COVID. It's finally going to happen October 22nd at the Mabee Center on Oral Roberts campus. Chris Christopherson has finalized plans to be there and be among the performers. Chris is not being inducted, but one of the fellows who's being inducted, Scott Joss, has shared stages with him. So Chris Christopherson is coming. But the new news that has not been reported about this is that you're familiar with the Bakersfield Sound, Buck Owens and all those, the Buckaroos, and how huge they were in the 60s. 14 consecutive #1 songs in the 1960s. It was a big part of that was a fiddler and guitarist, Don Rich, who unfortunately died way too soon in a motorcycle accident in 1974. But Don is being posthumously inducted in the Fiddler Hall of Fame, and Buck Owens' son, Buddy Allen Owens, is coming back to play some of his dad's songs and tell stories about Don Rich, who was very, very important to that Bakersfield Sound, as you know.
Oh yeah, he was also the lead guitarist for the Buckaroos, and also was the tenor harmony on all of those Buck Owens hits through 1974. I mean, it was his, he was an immeasurable part of the Bakersfield Sound, because there weren't harmonies quite like that outside of some bluegrass sound. So it was a unique sound, and it was very influential.
Well, people put a lot of hard work into this event Friday, October 22nd at the Mabee Center. So I hope people go out and support it. Let's go from there to what you've got next.
Well, currently running through October 17 at the Tulsa PAC is the musical Come From Away. I've talked about this in the past, but we will be running an interview with Beverly Bass, who is one of the inspirations for the musical. She was the pilot of American Airlines 49 en route from Paris, France to Dallas on 9/11, and was one of the 38 planes that landed at the airport in Gander, Newfoundland. But that is just one element of a rather amazing career for this woman. She was the first female captain of an American Airlines commercial liner, and she was the captain of the first all-female flight crew ever, also for America. And she is still working today. She has seen the musical 158 times. So I guess she likes it, but she was unable to come to the Tulsa run because she is still working as a pilot for a private firm, and she's got too many appointments this week. So, but we do have an interview with her about her career and how her life is reflected in the musical. So she was a heck of a lot of fun to talk to, and I hope I am able to get across just how special a person she is.
Cool.
Speaking of special, you are gearing up for something slightly non-newspaper related, but still quite important.
Yeah, we're kind of in a heavy con season. Tokyo OK, formerly Tokyo in Tulsa, is being held this weekend at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Tulsa. They tried Broken Arrow for a bit. Now Tokyo OK Tokyo and Tulsa is back in downtown Tulsa this weekend. So if you see costume folks running around all over downtown Tulsa, that's why. But next, I'll be getting ready next week for a convention I help with for the Pryor Area Arts and Humanities Council, and that's the 5th year Pryor Creek Comic Convention, October 23rd at the Fairground. Pryor, my buddy Muriel Ferrion, she's the artist who created Strawberry Shortcake, the Care Bears, the Get Along Gang. She'll be there as a guest, and should be, I hope, a great time for folks October 23rd in Pryor.
All right, well, good. I hope that goes well for you. For those who are interested in food, this weekend is also Oktoberfest. And it's not all sausages and schnitzels. There's just about anything you can imagine that you can do. That runs through October. That starts October. To the public, it's October 21st through the 24th. It's next weekend. And so that's something to plan for. Because you can't park on site, you're going to have to take shuttles. And the German word for the shuttle that service that they'll be offering, it's difficult to say on the air and not think people anyway, and not sound like you're making a rude joke. So let's just say that they have a shuttle service and there are stops all over the city to go to. Also, we have reviewed a new place called Taqueria King Burrito on 71st Street between Mingo and Memorial. They will be opening a second location at 21st and Sheridan in the coming weeks. If you like burritos and just want to have one burrito for a meal, this is the place to go. They are at least 12 inches long and about 4 inches wide and about 3 inches high. They are huge. And I had one for lunch in the course of reviewing it. Didn't need to eat for the rest of, well, almost the week.
Wow.
So
how about that?
So, and at decent prices. And for those who are missing the brunch place First Watch, there were 2 of those in Tulsa that suddenly closed earlier this year. We'll check out a place called Daybreak, which has taken over the South Louis location that was First Watch. So that's something to look forward to in the days to come.
Didn't Barry Manilow have a song called Daybreak?
He might have. I know Harry Nielsen did.
Okay.
Because it was the theme from his incredibly bad movie, Son of Dracula. and that has been in my head. I remember one line where it was had a good time last night, then the moon slipped. Now all that can save me is a total eclipse. And I am ashamed that I remember that after what came out in 74, 75.
Not quite Werewolves of London or Monster Mash in terms of the greatness.
Not quite. But yeah, if I remember correctly, it was Harry Nielsen and Ringo Starr were in it. And I'm not quite sure what role Ringo played other than the drummer. But anyway.
You brought up Halloween stuff. I love Halloween stuff.
That's true.
We're going to double dip on Friday. I'm going to remind people that the Halloween movie franchise is now up to 12 movies. How many would you have guessed before I said there have been 12 Halloween movies?
It would have been in the single digits.
Yeah. But anyhow, Halloween Kills, released Friday, is the second in a new trilogy. And the filmmakers want you to forget everything except the first movie in 1978 and the new trilogy. Nothing in between counts. And that's where we are with Halloween Kills, the 12th movie in the franchise. And so this Friday we'll hit some Halloween, and I'm nerdy about Halloween type stuff, monstery stuff. And next week I'm going to give you some, when I'm off and I won't be on this video, I'm going to leave you a story about a Friday the 13th actor coming to Tulsa to come to the Outsider's house. So we had Halloween and Friday the 13th and back-to-back Fridays in our section.
Okay. Now, has Halloween now caught up with the various Nightmare on Elm Street movies? Because I think there's like 13 or so of those.
Yeah, I think Halloween, if you were doing that's a good deal. We need to do a scorecard. Like, have there been more Halloweens, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Streets? I don't know what other, there's probably some direct-to-video type franchises we don't even know about that would give them a run for their money. But
yeah. What I was thinking was the Friday the 13th ones. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Halloween may be winning the race, I think, as far as number of installments.
Well, the only one I've seen has been the first one, and I thought it was very effective. One thing I noticed was in every scene right before Michael Myers makes his appearance, John Carpenter, the director, makes it very clear that you see one way into the room and then you see another way into the room. But it's always the third way into the room is where Michael Myers is. So you don't think he can get in. It's very well put together. So just as visual storytelling. So
here's something interesting too about the first one, in that they completed the movie and they watched it and it wasn't scary. Then they went back and they added the music and it was scary as heck. So the music really can't be understated as far as how important it was to setting the tone for that movie. I think John Carpenter even composed the music for that.
I believe you are correct. Yes, it's not, as I recall, it's not really, for lack of a better word, spooky sounding music, but it is just kind of, it is eerie enough, and with everything going, yeah, it can be amazing how much I've heard music being described as the fourth dimension, or the real third dimension, I should say, in film is the music. You've got the visual, but until you add the music, it's just not quite there. So, like we'll
spin this way into the future, a couple weeks, and PJ Souls, who was in the first Halloween movie as Laurie Strode's friend. I forget her name. It was the blonde friend in the first Halloween movie. PJ Souls was in everything in the 70s and 80s. She was in The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. She was in Carrie, Rock and Roll High School, Stripes, Private Benjamin. She's coming to Tulsa November 5th to the 7th for a horror convention at the Hard Rock. And, maybe we'll get a hold of her and write about that, but that's a couple of weeks off, but I think it's kind of interesting.
All right. Well, that's all things to look forward to. Well, I think that wraps up what we have for this weekend. Again, check out the Tulsa World either online or at your favorite convenience store. And for Jimmie Tramel, thank you for watching, and we will gladly see you later.
See you.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.